you're going to break out your sweat trying to do this one. Because this one, of all of them, I think is the hardest to turn. I think it gets the finest flour, but it's the hardest to turn. When I put that on the finest flour, you watch this. I mean, that, if I do it this way, then you can kind of see, I mean, can you imagine trying to get 12 cups of flour for bread? I think it's a little hard to turn. Now, the cool thing is that this one also, I think, gets the very best cracked wheat. You can loosen this one and you can tighten this one so you can almost get this full grain, just barely cracked, or kind of cracked, or halfway cracked, or almost all the way cracked. I mean, it really's got the whole range that I think gives you the best spectrum of what you can do with your wheat.
Are any of these hooked up for the hand mill that have like different gear ratios so that you can hook it up to a bicycle?
Yes, this one does, but you have to take off the handle, and then you have to buy the flywheel, and then you can put your pulley system, and then you can set it up to a bike. So that one's cool. You can actually set it up to a motor. But here's the thing. If you hook it up to a motor, it voids the warranty. So if you hook it up to a bike, it doesn't void the warranty. If you set it up, and I asked him, I said, like, okay, you're looking at someone who doesn't, like, I've never mowed my lawn in my life. So, okay, I don't even know. This is a funny story. My sister was supposed to mow the lawn. She got out the snowblower. We had 3 brothers. So I'm not mechanically inclined very well. So, anyways, I'm going, what kind of a motor? I mean, would you even hook it up? And goes, oh, people do all kinds of things. They get their washer machine and they get anything that has a pulley on it. And they can set it up. And he goes, it works beautifully. He says the problem is then if you would leave it on for long periods of time, you could maybe damage the machine. So he says if you hook it up to something that you've just concocted yourself from your washer, your dryer, or whatever, then it voids the warranty. But if you do a bike, no. And they now have this is a drill bit. These are normally $29.95. They're giving them free until Christmas. That's their special Christmas. So if you order this, you get the drill bit. You can take off this handle and put this drill bit, and we actually tried it. And you can sit here with your drill bit, and it spins. Now, you have to have kind of a heavy-duty drill, and it's better if it's plugged in, because like we were trying one with a battery, and it didn't have quite enough torque. So it's either got to be like a high-end, what did you call it? Like, not the lady drill or something?
Yeah. You gotta take its skirt off and go.
So you can do this one. So that makes this an option that's motorized, and really that's kind of your option that's motorized. Now look at the construction of them. If you look, this is all metal. This thing is sturdy. This thing is not going to, no wonder they put a lifetime warranty on it. This one's plastic, although all of this was made in Germany. I mean, and this has really great working, nice fitting parts. I like that a lot. I mean, this is our nice Chinese version here. That's probably why it's the least expensive. So when you get, when we're done, we'll get a chance to come up and see what you like, and you can try them all. So a lot of people ask me, well, which one should I buy? And I say, well, what's your food storage made of? Because in my food storage, I have it planned out like I've got enough wheat and everything that I need to make bread once a week for an entire year. Okay, so that's a lot of hand grinding. Okay, and that's just bread. That's one batch of bread. That's not like pancakes or waffles or muffins or cookies or, any of the other grains that we might, want to do. If you have a food storage that's just kind of add water, and you've got cans of all your bread mixes or scone mixes and, all of your cans already, and it's kind of just add water, maybe you don't want to put a lot of money into a wheat grinder that you think, oh, I've got a little wheat, we might want to make pancakes one morning or something. So I think you've got to decide how much you're going to really use it and how much you're going to rely on it. Because if you're going to rely heavily on it, I would tend to go with something that's a little heavier duty and something that's very sturdy and is going to last. So, like, as much as I like this machine, because I can really turn this, I mean, look, I can, you know, this isn't even exercise. And you get a pretty good, you might have to run it through twice. But, you know, you can get the kids going. That's not a lot of work. And I got the little motor. But I'm thinking, as much use as I would plan to put it to if I had to use it and live off my food storage, and for how much wheat I have, and for all the bread I have in my food storage plan to make, I don't know if that would last me the whole year. Chris?
The other thing you need to look at too is the size of your hopper. Is it something that's small and you're going to have to constantly be adding grain to it to get enough ground out of it? And how is it attaching? Because the big Wonder Mill right there looks like it is nut and bolted onto that table, where the other two are just kind of...
Well, Jim bolted this on here, and thanks to Sherry and Jim, who, you know, they put this whole thing together. They concocted this whole thing so we'd have these demos today. This doesn't come bolted. It comes with clamps.
Okay.
So you can bolt it.
Okay.
The other ones look like the only option is clamp. But if you look, I mean, the clamps are
steady.
They're steady. I don't think there's a problem with that.
But
and they actually advertise
actually nut and bolted
bolted.
on there.
Can you guys see that okay?
It does take a lot more effort for you to crank that, and if
so you're thinking if it's clamped, it's not gonna hold as well because it's harder.
Hold it as well. I don't know.
Well, good question. Although when you go and look on the demos, if you go to the Wonder Mill, just their website and look at it, I mean, he says that this clamp is like the best clamp ever, and they show you how it clamps on and that it won't slip and slide, and they do all these demos, and so I actually kind of have a lot of faith in their clamp. But here's my worry: where are you going to clamp it? You know, I mean, you know, we've seen granite countertops that you put on them that break. You put a lot of torque on them and you crack them. So this is why I like this. I'm going, oh, maybe I can just take this home. Because I don't know if I'd really want to clamp it to like my nice, you know, countertop or granite and risk that it might crack or break off the corner of it. That would be a very expensive wheat grinder if that happened. So as far as durability, I like this, and I like the options that you can take those plates out. And when you look at the demos, I haven't ever tried the peanut butter, but when you look at the demos, I mean, they've got nut butter just flowing out of here. And so you've got the two steel plates, so you've got the stone plates that we have in now, and in the box, when you get it, there's another set of stainless steel ones that's for all your oily stuff. The other thing that's kind of nice is the way they've designed this. You can get the whole thing wet. They've got a little brush, and if this were clamped on and not bolted on, you could unclamp it. And they were putting it in soapy water and spraying it out and getting a little brush in there. And you can't do that with all machines. You can't get these inside parts if they have the little, stone, like ball bearings and you know all of that, because that ruins the machine. So I did like the durability on this.
So it seems to me, though, if we have a granite countertop, that we can't use any of those because we'd have to clamp it to it. So what would we do?
Well,
where would we put it?
Good question. That's why you have to think of that before the time comes. You got to think about that. But you know, you could get a butcher block. You could get, you could construct a table. A what?
But if they have a breadboard, they can pull out.
A breadboard. Yeah. And if you put something that would be like a butcher block and take up a large space so you're not torquing like one corner of it, you know, I think that would help. But I think those are good things to think about now before at the very, you know, at the 11th hour, we have no choices.
By that last comment you made about the butcher block, would you mean like if you had like a nice, you know, thick cutting board?
Yeah.
You could place it on top of your granite.
Put it on top of your granite and
then
you cover
get another
a wider
block
area.
of wood underneath it, and then you could, you know, substantially tighten it that way, and that would prevent the breakage of
Well,
your
I'm not
granite.
guaranteeing anything on the preventing the breaking, but I think that helps distribute the torque so it's not like all on one corner.
spot.
Yeah.
I was going to say what Whitney or Allison said about wood top and bottom on both sides of the granite, not
Oh, yeah.
just one.
And then as long as the clamp
It's
could
thick
handle
enough.
that,
Yeah.
you know, because some of these, the clamp, I don't know how much it could handle. So